All right, so we're talking with Sergio Acubilla. He is the executive director of the Hawaii Worker Center. Sergio, tell me your group's reaction to the ninth emergency proclamation related to the wildfires.
Thank you so much, Ann. So, of course, we just got the news a few minutes ago that the governor finally extended the emergency proclamation. We're very excited. We're, of course, happy for the people of Lahaina, for the people of Maui. But at the same time, I know it's a stressful situation for many of them, as they're never sure, whether or not these emergency proclamations are going to be extended.
Right.
But, again, we're grateful to the governor for extending it.
Yeah. A few minutes ago, for those watching us, not exactly right now, would be Friday at 2:15 on January 5th. Um, what what does this emergency proc allow your group to continue doing?
Well, at the moment, what it does is it keeps the eviction moratorium in place and the prohibition against rent increase. We do have a project on Maui that we've had for the past year. It's our Maui Tenants and Workers Association. And, one of the first things that, we were getting a lot of phone calls from people really unsure if they were going to be able to stay in their place as the landlords continue to try to evict them, really in the hopes of getting higher rents, from people that are receiving FEMA money, from people that are receiving,
Insurance.
insurance money, and and also the governor's proposal to try to convert some of the short-term rentals into emergency housing. That's all kind of driving the rent so high. We have an organizer on Maui, in Lahaina, and she's saying that her family's been looking for a place, and one of the things that they were being offered was a house for 34,000 a month. And those are the type of stories that it's shocking, right? But those are the things that that people are seeing on the ground, and it
Wait,
sounds
can we just
completely
go back? You just said somebody was offered rent at $34,000 a month for just a regular house?
that's just a regular home, and it's shocking just to hear. But the governor was offering 11,000, right? But before he offered 11,000, some of the things that people were being offered was close to way over market rate. But yeah, I mean, those are the type of things that people are facing right now. I think people see the insurance money coming in, they see the FEMA money coming in, and it's just driving the rent so high.
Okay, so then with this proclamation, you have to explain what it allows.
Yeah, so for one, people can't be evicted, right? They still have to go through the court process, but then there's a stay on the evictions unless it's for really a breaking of the house rule of the lease rules. And then second, there's supposed to be a prohibition against rent increase. So you can't turn around and ask your tenants to pay you more rent, but what their rent was before the wildfires has to be what the rent that they're paying now. But there's been a few loopholes around that, or just there's been landlords that continue to try to push people out. And I know the Attorney General's office, they've been really adamant about reporting some of these violations. So sometimes the landlord just they'll say that they'll move a family member in, which allows them to eventually get people out, and then they'll re-rent it to someone else. Or second, they'll just let the lease lapse. And right now, those were kind of some of the loopholes that we were asking the governor to take a closer look at and add some provisions. But right now at least, there's the emergency proclamation still continues. When the wildfires first started, we had asked for a 1-year moratorium on evictions and rent increases. And I know the governor kind of has to do it by emergency proclamation, but at the same time, I think it just adds unnecessary stress to people's lives when they're just not sure until the day of whether or not that the moratorium stands.
All right. Thanks so much, Sergio, for explaining to us, bringing us up to speed on what your group is doing to help the people of Maui.
Thank you so much again, Diane.